All right, let's begin turn 2. I moved the turn marker and I fixed this guy over here. I forgot to drift him and I had him here. He should have actually been here, which is a little bit better for us. In fact, he will go 1-2 and get on land this turn, which is pretty cool. We got really lucky with our LVTs. We have a fair number of full strength LVTs, so I assigned them, and also just so you know, you can take 2 reduced LVTs like I did here and combine them and carry 1 4-step unit. So knock on wood, everyone's getting carried. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do the checks. I'm going to just try to do them a little bit more quickly, so I'm not necessarily going to show you the card. I've got a pivot right. You don't pivot on this beach, okay? And we got 3-step unit, 2-step LVT. So the LVT is fine, and the unit is 3 steps, and he's on the beach. So he goes up into here. Okay. Now this guy, pivot right. Again, we can ignore that. The unit is intact. The landing craft is reduced by 1. And he's on the beach. I haven't had one of these 8s make it to the beach since I don't know when. That is, stop and have a drink, celebrate that. I mean, I feel like my 8s get, all right. Okay, now here's another 8. Shut my mouth before I jinx myself. No drift. And yeah, he's shot. He's reduced by 1. The LVT is reduced by 1. And he goes to the beach. So, pretty much what I'm used to. Okay. And now this guy, pivot right. Okay, this is interesting. So pivot right. So you see he's going to turn this way, which is fine. We could use some help over there. Just don't get stuck in the water. Come on, buddy. He's fat and happy, and he's inland 1. So the LVT is totally fine. And he is actually inland 1. So let's see. He's going to go here. Oh, and he's going to jump on this guy and do some close combat. Hang on a second. Let me fix the camera. All right. So he is jumping in against this guy. So this guy, fortunately, doesn't have any close combat bonuses. So we're going to get 1 for every step, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he gets 1 for every unit. And then again, if you have at least 4 strength, you get a card. And if you have any close combat bonuses. So it's going to be 4-1. And I bet you he hits, because I swear they hit all the time. No. Oh, okay, but here's an example. So here's the card. There's no brown. We're fighting in brown. So that's the good news. The bad news is there's a CC reinforce event. So this means 2 things. One is they get a depth marker. And I would like to just pause here for the moment and just, in case you weren't aware, these are beach hexes. Anything adjacent to a beach is coastal. Okay, anything further inland is inland. So this, even though it's not a beach, but it's not inland, it is coastal. So he gets a coastal depth. These are generally weaker than the inland. So so now we are, now we are battling, and this is how it goes. And he gets a card. So just like that, an advantage can be taken away. Close combat is tough. So here we go. We're flipping for us and no brown. Okay. Flipping for them, no brown, but no event either. We've got 3 more polls. There we go. Okay, CC US withdrawal hit. You can see the event. What that means is we have the option to withdraw from close combat, and then you draw 1 more card. And if that card has withdrawal hit, then you're hit as you're withdrawing from close combat. We aren't withdrawing. We're in it to win it. And so we hit him once. The first time you hit him, you remove the depth marker. So boom, that's gone. And you remove a card, but they don't have any cards left in their deck anyway. Okay, next we pull Another brown. Oh, excellent. I reserve the right to whine about close combat all game. Even when I win. I won! Alright, so I'm putting the card back. And so we remove. Now, this guy is an elite unit. If he were not an elite unit, he would be removed from play. But since he's elite, we're going to put him in the eliminated units box. He will come back later. One of the big aspects of turn 16, the overnight turn up here, is at the end of that turn, the units in the eliminated units box will come back into the game. So he's dead, at least until then. Woohoo! Alright, well, he's there, and since he won close combat, he will be disrupted. By the way, I just realized, I mean, doing stuff on camera, it's just so easy to forget things. At the end of our last action phase, we were entitled to remove these disruption markers, okay? So those units will not be disrupted going into this turn. This guy will be disrupted going into this turn, okay? Alrighty, now, let's see if I can position the camera in a way that can, no, probably not. All right, now we're gonna do this guy who's being carried by these two. No drift, yeah. Okay, here's the result we got. The unit is cut in half, which happens frequently to my 8 units, and the landing craft is eliminated, and this was the one when I sent 2 landing craft, so fortunately only one of them dies in this case. They don't both die. So one of them is killed. This guy is H28 is reduced, so I put him in, and he's on the beach. So he goes up and joins his buddy right here. Okay, and then lastly, this guy here. Drift 1 to the left. Okay, he's going to the left. He's fine. The LVT is hit once, and he's on the beach. That's not too bad. Would rather have had the heavy weapon 8-3 guy make it, but, you know, whatever. Okay, now 2 other things. This guy gets to go 2 spaces, and it says he has to move closer to a beach, so I would think he has to move this way. I don't think we could move him straight if we wanted to, because that's closer than this. So 1, 2, he's on the beach. We want him on the beach anyway. And then we need to set out the units for the next turn. So give me a secondo. So my system here is we're on turn 3, so all you got to do is unscrew that, dump out your units, screw that back on, boom, see you on turn 4. So turn 3, there are only 2 units, but they are arguably the most valuable for us in the game. These are 2 HQ heroes, and these guys give out free actions. One comes in on R2, and then you'll notice that this also says R2. That's a typo. Hall comes in on R3. We want to put these as close in as possible. We don't want them drifting off. We want to bring them in with the rest of our boys in there. Okay. So now we can go ahead and execute the first event. And as you can see, there are different, depends on what turn. On turns 2 to 10, add a depth marker to 1 Japanese unit. All right, let me see if I can fix the camera here. All right, adding a depth marker to 1 Japanese unit, it has to be closest, so we're going to look only at units that are adjacent, and then it's going to be lowest number, lowest letter. So I see an F7. I see an E2. E2 sounds like the winner. Yeah, E2. Okay. This guy right here is going to get, he is coastal. So he is going to get a coastal depth marker. That was the event. And now here. Ay, caramba. This is not good. Notice the bottom. Artillery is going to fire. If they have at least 9 of any type, and they do. They have 11. Oh, you know what occurs to me? Remember over here, we knocked that guy out? Whenever you occupy an artillery spot, you get to destroy it just by occupying it. It's not an action. So that is actually destroyed. But that doesn't change the fact that they will be firing artillery at us. Okay, so the first check is yellow. Great, we got rid of that guy, right? He was a yellow. Okay, he's blue. Oh, he's yellow. Oh, this guy's dead. Okay, this poor guy. They landed here. They never had a chance to activate. They kept getting hit. And the reason he got hit was he's in intense fire, so it doesn't matter the symbol, but he was actually a triangle anyway, so he was a dead man no matter what. Okay, now let's bring it back to the rest of the board. This is yellow, and crap. Oh, crap. All right, so here's the deal. So this is a position group. And when this guy fires, all of the dots in the group are eligible to be hit. It doesn't matter whether he's here or he's here. He's kind of like running back and forth between tunnels. So here's the people who are eligible to be hit. This is intense, so everyone in this hex is eligible to be hit. This guy's in steady, and he's a circle, and the current symbol is a triangle. He is not eligible to be hit. And this guy is in intense, plus he's a triangle. He's eligible to be hit. Among those are tied, they will hit the one with the most steps first. So he gets hit, plus he gets disrupted because he was hit by an unrevealed unit. We still don't have to worry about any of the letters on the actions, thank heavens. Okay, I don't see any other yellows that are, you know, at least adjacent to us or near us that we have to worry about. So now let's move on to red. Once again, red. Okay, so these guys over here are in a red steady. Red is looking for triangles this turn, and they find diamonds. So he fires over his head. We got to do something with this guy, get him out of here. This guy is not red. This guy's red. This guy's red, so I immediately look into the water. There's no one in the water for him to hit, okay? Blue, light green, the tank. The tank. All right. Oh, son of a gun. Son of a gun. All right. Let's bring you over here and see if I can... All right, so here's what's going on with the tank. A tank, when activated, will fire or advance. If he can fire, he will fire. And he will fire because he does have, these guys are in his field of fire. Furthermore, when tanks fire, they have an extended range of fire. So one beyond their normal range they can hit. So bear with me one second. Yeah, so basically this tank can hit here and here and here and here and here and here and here, all one outside of its current range. So that means not only is this hex eligible to be hit, this is eligible. And this is adjacent to a red, so this is eligible. He's not eligible. Okay. Now, these guys are in a steady, and the extension is considered to be steady, so that means he has to hit the symbol. So the good news is he's looking for triangles, and he's only going to find this one here who's hit. He's reduced. He's not disrupted because it's a revealed unit, right? And fortunately, eligible to be hit but a circle, eligible but a diamond. Okay, these are not eligible. So remember, he gets 2 shots, 1 for each counter. So you hit him with 1. He can't hit the same guy twice. He looks for someone else and he doesn't hit somebody, and he's not disrupted. All right, There's a red over here, but there's a red here, but we're not in his field of fire. Okay. And now light green. There's a light green here, but oddly enough, while F6 projects a brown fire dot into F7, F7 does not project a light green fire dot back. That could be a mistake. I haven't gotten confirmation. Until then, I'm not going to do anything about it. You know, that brings up something I meant to mention in the intro video. There are 3 fixes to this board already. That red fire dot, okay, I just made a photocopy and carefully glued it, is in that hex. Oh man, I'm trying to remember where the this one right here, that purple fire dot, is also glued in there. Okay, and then while I'm on the subject, this purple fire dot it's blue on the regular map. It didn't make sense that it was blue. It seems to make sense that it would be purple, so I pasted a purple one over top of the blue, because there's nothing blue around here to project fire into that hex. So those are 3 fixes to the board that I have. But this one, I'm assuming, is correct. So, point is, he doesn't hit anybody, okay? Let's come over here. Nobody around here. These are not light green. This guy's light green, but he's disrupted, so you can see the benefit of that. And then I know for a fact that none of these are light green. This is light green, but he is disrupted. So the first thing he will do is remove the disruption marker. All right. Then we got 2 more things to do. We have to remove disruption markers if eligible, and then do artillery. So this guy's purple. Okay, purple does not come off. Light green comes off. Blue does not come off. And that's that. All right, now we do an artillery strike. As I said, they have at least 9 of something, so yeah, that happens. And the priority for an artillery strike is a beach approach hex, but these guys aren't eligible to be hit, I'm pretty sure. Sure enough that I'm not even going to look that up. Then in the water, and then on the beach. And they will hit the current symbol, which is a triangle. And they will... Well, there you go. He's gone. Or actually... Yeah... I believe they will hit artillery Unit and beach. Do we get to choose? Let me just double check if we get to choose or if they hit the most steps. 1 second. Yeah, they will hit the most steps, and then if there's a tie with the most steps, then you get to choose. So unfortunately, there's no choice. He has the most steps, so he's hit. I don't believe he's disrupted. So there goes that. You never get to use those 8 units, or just rarely. Only 1 unit is hit, so... Oh, jeez, that's just unfortunate. All right. All right. Okay, that is their fire phase. Now we move on to our action phase. We grab 3 action tokens, and I will do some time thinking off camera and come right back. All right, so looking at the board at the mini puzzles, I want to address the bird's beak first. A brief note. So you get these 3 action markers for your regular actions. Then certain units get free actions. Units that are stacked with a hero. I should say the unit that is assigned to a hero, it's only 1. It's not the entire stack. And units that are given free actions by HQs, called being in command of an HQ. So what I do, my system is, I need a system for the free actions. I use these smoke markers. I know that they're not smoke, okay? If they're on top of a Japanese, then they're smoke. If they're on top of me, I know they're not smoke. So this means he gets a free action, and then when he's done, I flip it showing that he's done with his free action. So we are going to pull back. One of the lessons I've learned in this game is that the bird's beak is extremely difficult to take. And interestingly enough, all the way down on turn 28, right before the game ends, the final wave of units comes in along these beach hexes, okay? And they have to walk in, okay? They have to wade in. So you do get some reinforcements here. So trying to take, I think, anything more than north of this line right here has just led to disaster in my previous games. I get up to here and I'm feeling good and I try to push to get these and I get wiped out. So I think I'm going to play a more conservative game. So we're going to pull him back. 1, 2. Okay. And then these guys, we are going to spend an action to fire on these guys. Now, they're doubled because they're coming across a seawall, but... we've got 11 firepower. Let's do it. Okay. He needs to be flanked, which we can't do this turn. Next turn we can, because we all have set up. Now, flanking can't be 2 units adjacent to one another. They have to be not adjacent to each other, but adjacent to the target. Okay. So, do we have the weapons? No. Are we at least doubled? Yes. Then the result is disrupted. We don't get to flip the depth marker and see what it is, but we at least disrupt him so that if a blue comes up next turn, we don't have to worry about that. Okay. That puzzle was obvious to me. And, you know, everything's a priority at this point. But this guy here, he needs to be flanked. And I hate to do this, but I think we're going to... Actually, this is rather interesting. Now, when you give a stack of units an action, they have to do the same action. Unless they're getting, you know, one of these free actions from an HQ, then they can each do something different, and that is super cool. And that's why I said earlier, these 2 HQs that are arriving next turn are arguably the most important units in the game for us. So here are options. We give an action to this stack and an action to this stack. We flank him. Do we have a mortar? Oh, son of a... We don't have a mortar. Oh, ay caramba. Okay, we don't have a mortar. So that, well, let's look at the table here. Okay. the table says, do you have the weapons? No. Unit alone, we would all we would do is disrupt him. We can't eliminate him. All right, well, I tell you what, apologize, I got a phone call in the middle of the video, so the phone shut off. I guess I have to put it on Do Not Disturb or something when I'm making these longer videos. All right, it doesn't make sense to commit to a flank attack with all of this because we don't have the mortar anyway. So I think what we're going to do is what are we going to do? These guys are going to attack him, which is, we don't have the weapons, but he's doubled, so he is disrupted. Okay. And then this guy who has a mortar is going to move over here so that next turn we can do a flank with these two and have the mortar and take him out. That leaves this guy as possible. I mean, let's just hope that we don't get 3 yellow activations in a row. All right. And then we can remove any disruption markers from units. So I took that one off. I took the one off from this guy over here. And remove our action counters. Okay. And now we're going to need to reshuffle because, you know, we have very few cards left. And we're going to go to turn 3. And we're going to flip the first Japanese action. So now M is in play. So anytime we reveal a card that has the M action on it, we will have to start doing that. And we will start using these panels here. So I'll be back after I set up for turn 3.